Welcome to Universal Vlogs. Here we have told you about the conceptual teachings and we have uploaded some 6 videos in the chapter fractions. I hope all of you are going through that fractions chapter and it may be useful to all of you, I think. So here next let me tell you something about the sets chapter. Sets in mathematics, the sets means the collection of objects. Here the collection of objects means the objects will be mentioned very clearly. And so here I can write here, see, set is a collection of objects. It is a collection of objects. We can consider any example here. Any example, say months, set of months in a year. Set of months in a year, or the days in a week, or the planets in the solar system. Planets in the solar system. Like this we can go on giving many examples. Some set of odd numbers, set of even numbers, set of odd numbers between 1 and 10, and set of even numbers between 1 and 10, or set of natural numbers, set of real numbers. Like this we can go on listing so many sets. And even in our day-to-day life example also we can get, say like this, months and days and so many examples of the sets. And so set is nothing but a collection of the objects. And always we represent the set within the flower brackets like this. See here you are observing the symbol I am writing. This is the symbol for the set what we use. Always the particular objects we are mentioning, that is inside the flower brackets. And each object in a set will be called as an element. Each object in a set will be called as an element. And also we represent the set by the capital letters, any capital letters, say A, B, C, P, Q, R. Like this we can consider any capital letters of the English alphabet to represent the set or to name the set. And here we have got the 2 methods of the mentioning the set. That is the roster method and the rule method. We call it as the roster method and the rule method. We call it as the roster method. When do we call it as a roster method? Here in the roster method we list the elements. We list the elements. We will list the elements individually. Say for example, the set of even numbers between say 2 and 10. See, I will write here like this. Say set of even numbers between 2 and 10. Say 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Like this we write set of even numbers between 2 and 10. So I have considered this 2, 4, 6, 8, or from 2 to 10 also we can mention set of even numbers from 2 to 10. Like this, here you can see the elements particularly, and elements are mentioned here. And next will be the rule method. In the rule method, the next is the rule method. In this rule method, actually we describe the particular set. We describe the particular set. And in the previous example, I showed you the set of even numbers. I showed you the set of even numbers. Set of even numbers from 2 to 10. 2 to 10. Here, this only we can enclose it within the flower brackets, and I can mention it by any name, say P. P is equal to set of even numbers from 2 to 10. So here here we give the description of the particular set. We give the description of the particular set, and here also we can recognize the elements of the set. If we read the description, we can recognize the elements of the set. So roster method and rule method are the two ways in which we can describe a particular set, and a set is always represented within the flower brackets. It is starting with the flower brackets and ending with the flower brackets, and it is always mentioned with a capital letter. And here the next I will tell you, there are some symbols used for the set. See, if a particular set, let me consider one more set. Say P is equal to 6, 7, 8, 9. And here you see the elements very clearly here. 6, 7, 8, 9. The element 7 belongs to P. Here the element 7 belongs to P. This symbol is called as the belongs to. We read belongs to. We will read this as belongs to. This is the symbol used in the set. And also I may consider another element, say 10. Is the 10 existing here in the above example? No. The 10 doesn't belong. Like this we write, doesn't belong to the set P. Doesn't belong. Does not belong to. Does not belong to. And also we write so many other symbols. Say subset, we write like this, C. The symbol C is written for the subset, to represent the subset. I will tell you about this subset also now. Say we can consider any set, any main set. Let us consider one main set. Say we call it as a universal set, or U. U is the symbol for the universal set. And also here we can consider, say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, like this, etc. I can write for etc. we give 3 dots like this, 3 dots. That means that type will be an infinite set. I will tell you about this later on. See, universal set, this is the main set which we consider. Now, just now I was telling you about the subsets. So, subset means we take the elements from the main set. Say A is equal to 1, 2, 3. A is equal to 1, 2, 3. This is the subset. A is the subset of U. A is the subset of U. Instead of U, you can consider any examples here. Say I will write P is equal to 8, 9, 10, 15, 17, 28. This is a finite set. So here, if I consider this 15 belongs to P. Belongs to, just now I showed you the symbol, 15 belongs to P. And how can you frame a subset of this? See, Q is the subset. Say for example, Q is equal to 8, 9, 10. Like this. We can write 8, 9, 10. So Q is the subset of P. Q is the subset of P. So like this we can go on mentioning the subsets for a particular set. So there are many symbols what we use here. U is the universal set. Universal set is the main set. We use the symbol U. U is the main set. Main set from which we select the other sets also. We can write the other sets. U is the main set. Now let me consider one set. Say A is equal to 3, 6, 7. And B is equal to say 9, 11 and 15 and 6. Let me consider like this. The two sets we have considered. Here we can write the union of the two sets. Union of the two sets. For union, for union of the two sets, we use the symbol U. We use the symbol U. Here, A union B. We can write A union B. A union B means first we write the elements of the set A. That is, say 3, 6, 7. And then we write the elements of the set B. Now let me consider this 9. See, 9 is not there in set A. So let me write. The element should not be repeated. 11 is also not there. So I can write here. And again 15 is also not there. So I can write here. Now what about this 6? 6 is repeated. 6 is repeated in the set A. So I am not writing. I have written it only once. So in the union, while writing the union of the two sets, first we write the elements of the first set, whatever it may be, first set, and then you consider the elements of the second set, and the element shouldn't be repeated. Like that you will write all the elements of both the sets, and then here we close it with the flower brackets like this. So this is A union B, and now let me write the intersection of these two sets. Intersection. The intersection of the two sets can be written like this. See, ulta of this U, like this. Intersection, that is the symbol. Say A intersection B. It will be the common element between both the sets. See, here you can see A is equal to 3, 6, 7 and B is equal to 9, 11, 15 and 6. Here 6, I am underlining 6. 6 is the common factor, common element that is between the two sets, and A intersection B will be 6. So I have taken a very simple example here to show you the union of the two sets and the intersection of the two sets. While writing the union, we combine all the elements of both the sets and write. And while writing the intersection, we take the common element of the set and then we write. So this is how we write the union and the intersection of the sets. And the next, let me consider about the types of the sets. In the types of the sets, first will be the finite set. Finite set. In the finite set, we can count the number of the elements. We can count the elements. Count the elements. For example, the days in a week. Days in a week. Here, you know, say, let me represent it by any letter. Say P, and again we will enclose it within the brackets. So days in a week, finite set. We know all the days in a week. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, like that we know. So we can count the elements there. Each day can be called as an element here. In mathematics, we use the word as the element. And in the infinite set, we cannot count the number of the elements. It will be infinite, means we cannot count. Say, set of odd numbers. Let me mention, just I will write Z is equal to set of odd numbers. Odd numbers. What do you mean by this set of odd numbers? Means, is it 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, 13 or 27, 29 or 58, 59 or 551? So we can go on giving many odd numbers. So it is an infinite set. So we will write this, once again we can write this as, say, it will be 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, etc. 3 dots we write like this. This is etc. means we can go on writing like this. It is an infinite one. That means we cannot count the number of the elements. And next will be null set. In the null set, there will be no elements at all. It will be an empty set. We also call it as an empty set. Null set or an empty set. Say, I will tell you empty set means the set of the students who are having white hair in 6th standard class. Set of students who are having white hair in the 6th standard class. At the early age of 6th standard, no student will be having the white hair. So we can consider that as the empty set. So no students will be there, or no element will be there here in this particular set. So this will be an empty set. Null set or the empty set. So next we will consider further about the other types of the sets. I will tell you later on. Now let us summarize this. Whatever I have told you, let us summarize this once again. Set is a collection of well-defined and distinct objects. I have told you in the beginning only, it is a collection of the well-defined and distinct objects, means we can go on recognizing the each and every element there. We can go on listing out the elements there, or we can take the description of the elements also. And there are two methods of representing the set, that is the roster method. Here we list the each members of the set. Example, A is equal to violet, indigo, blue, green, yellow, orange, red. Here I have listed the elements of the set. A is the one roster method. Here we have mentioned in the roster method, and we can recognize the elements. Next is rule method. Here we state the properties that its members must satisfy. That means, see, the same set I can write like this. A is equal to set of rainbow colors. Set of rainbow colors. So I have given the description of the particular set here. Set of rainbow colors means it is nothing but violet, indigo, blue, green, yellow, orange and red. And next set is enclosed by the symbol, that is flower brackets. Starting of the flower bracket and also ending of the flower bracket. And also set is represented by capital letters A, B, C or P, Q, R, etc. Any capital letter can be used to represent the set. And now let us see the symbols used once again. You can observe here the symbols I have written. This symbol is for belongs to. And next symbol, see here I have put a cross line like this. This for does not belong to. And next, the symbol of the C will be for subset. And U is the universal set. Capital letter U can be used for the universal set or the main set. We also call it as a main set. And next is, see this one, U, for the union of the set. So see, this is the symbol used. U is the symbol used. Again intersection, this is ulta of this U. Intersection of the two sets. And next will be phi is for the null set. Or empty set. We also call it as a empty set. Just now I told you while explaining, I told you all about the empty set. This is the symbol used. Usually these flower brackets, the empty flower brackets will be used, or also we can use the letter phi. This is a letter called as phi, Greek letter called as the phi. This is also the symbol for the null set. So the basic symbols which we are using in the sets I have told you here, and I have also told you about the union of the two sets and the intersection of the two sets, and also how to write the subsets for a particular set. We can go on writing the subsets for a particular set, particular main set. I can give you one more example, say a set of students who are studying in a particular school. Any school we can consider. Set of students who are studying in a particular school can be considered as a universal set or a main set. And from that we can form the subsets. So set of students who are studying in first standard, set of students who are studying in third standard, set of students who are studying in ninth standard. Like that we can go on giving the examples there. Those are the subsets. We can frame the subsets from the main set. and we can write it using the symbols, that is notations also. So here in this particular unit I have given you just an introduction to this sets chapter, and this is just an introductory one, and let me tell you more about the sets concept in the next video. All of you please watch this video and then like this, share this and subscribe this. Thank you all.